Sara Bellman-Wooten. I am a massage therapist for 23 years. Also, I'm an aromatherapist and make skincare, therapeutic, aromatic goods. And I have two businesses, and I am in the Midwest Central Ohio area. I had a long list of things to do, and it felt like the list was always the same things that I couldn't get done. So as part, I really liked how things are going. I've worked really hard and I had made goals, and that felt really good. But then there was also, on the other hand, this area of wanting to do more and getting out of my comfort zone and kind of changing my business model to have a little bit more flexibility. And that was the part that I still needed to work on. That was not so easy. So where it was like, how am I going to do this? For the longest time in my business, it was always this mentality of I needed to do everything in my business. I just kind of started thinking like, I can't do everything. I don't want to do everything. I don't have time to do everything. Um, and so I kind of started seeing this like shift happening where it's like, how do I ask for help? How do I do things to be as efficient as possible? To have the right systems in place, um, but also of just, just trying to like really keep up with everything. How I was feeling was, it was like a productive busy. So I was busy working in my business, but I was not really busy working on my business. I wasn't really like having a long-term plan or like the right systems or the right people helping me in the business. It was kind of overwhelming and stressful of thinking I had to do everything in my business. But a lot of it too was really getting out of my comfort zone of doing the things that were scary, it's like asking for help and like having the clarity in my head of what I had for my vision, for my goals, and actually having that conversation with words to somebody else and trying to get that through. And also financially, like bills were getting paid and all that stuff was happening, but there was a stress and chaos of not having like a good foundation or that like planning ahead, really thinking, where I want to navigate and how I want to go and how am I going to do it. Before NLP and the breakthrough, there was a part of me that felt like things should be difficult if they were worth doing or to like really feel successful. Sometimes the fun would get sucked out of things. Like things just weren't as I don't know, some things just felt very heavy to do. I didn't do them or I avoided doing them. Just things like that where it was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to keep thinking I need to struggle or that I have all this stuff on my list to do that I just can't complete the projects. I definitely kind of acknowledged that there was some limiting beliefs and some things inside of my being that I just couldn't move past. Just felt like things were clicking. Like it was kind of like, oh, I have this over here, and then kind of seeing the end result and then just kind of knowing like what to do to get from point A to point B. Or if I can't do this or I'm having difficulty doing it, who can I ask to help me? Like how can I kind of plug in and kind of um, go to the path of the least resistance? One of the big, simplest things that I've noticed is just kind of being able to stop myself in the moment and breathe and just to kind of like think about, is this action or is this line of thinking or is this goal, is this really in alignment with this long-term goal or the short-term goal or, something that I want to do, or does this take me further away? And I think also what it was really able to do is to kind of really look at my resistance and some like resistant patterns and to really kind of maybe kind of look at those and kind of like, oh, is there emotion behind this that's like holding this back? And, is there fear? I mean, we're all human. And so we do have things like fear and sadness and grief. And it's like, how can we work through these so that we can get to the other side and have them help us like guide us or be a source of like inspiration to really know what matters. Doing the things that matter in life. I'm actually crossing a whole bunch of things off my lists. I was just like, all right, we're going to do this now. And like getting the help, getting the support. The big thing too is kind of noticing when my mind's going in this like spiral of anxiety, or like, it's not really the spiral. So it's like before the spiral, where it's like that stressor's there, the anxiety. Um, like usually I can show up for that really early now, or like even the sadness or the grief when it kind of starts to show up in this wave. So instead of it kind of paralyzing me and stopping me, I actually can just take a pause and just breathe. And so when those moments happen, it's like, oh, I'm human. This is normal. This is perfectly acceptable. Um, but then it's like, oh, well, what I do next really is the thing that matters. Like, what am I deciding to do here? And so just having those shifts in thinking, I've really noticed those are the things for me that have been building the momentum and this excitement to like, oh yeah, I get to do the things that I want to do. Or maybe in like previous years before doing the breakthrough and the NLP work with you, um, I think some of those emotions may have taken me down for a while, but just to kind of notice like, oh, that's what that is. And then just having some time with it, but then being able to like bounce back. My biggest value. There's a couple. The biggest I would say is really taking that time to invest in myself for my thinking. So to me, it was like investing in a healthier headspace. So if you're considering doing a breakthrough with Bridget, just do it. Find the means, find the time, find the money. It is such an investment. It is such an investment. I'm so glad I did. I know it was a bit scary because it was like, oh, it felt like being pushed off a bridge a little bit, or a cliff, but it was also one of these things of being gently pushed in a way that was like secure, because I trust Bridget and I've worked with you before. So I knew it would be so good, but it was like, oh, I'm being pushed so I can fly, not so I would fall. Yeah, but do it.